Hello and welcome to No Sevens Dice Club. Thank you for tuning in, and we are going to start off with week 1 of the college football betting series. So here we go. We're starting off a new year, new season, and we're throwing away the horrible season we had last year. And I don't know if I'm going to post this picture or not, but of what the board looked like. I think it was at the end of November. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to talk about week 1 notes. And I don't have to go to Mississippi. Louisiana finally got its online betting going. Awesome. You know, every week I was making that pilgrimage to Biloxi, and it gets a little expensive. And now with gas prices the way they are, thank goodness I don't have to go all the way over there. I can do my online betting. I can watch the TV, do some more prop bets if I wanted to, drink as much cold beer, and the only place I have to go is the bathroom. So it works out great. Sit on the couch all day. One quick thing I also wanted to do, I was at Harris this past week. I popped my head in to where they're setting up the new sports betting, and I'm going to do a casino update, but you guys are going to get the first, hear about this first. So Harris is updating, or if you've ever been into Harris in New Orleans, where they used to have the poker, that's all been demolished. They're updating into a sports facility. It's going to look like the Bow in Biloxi, but I think it's going to look better than that. I poked my head in there, and man, they were not happy to see me spying on their work. And it looks like it's almost done, but I think they're trying to have it ready for the Saints game next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend. And I think it looks more similar to the Circia. If you guys ever been to Las Vegas on Fremont Street, they have that 3-story sports betting area, and man, that thing is a beauty. If you ever go into Las Vegas and you ever see that one, that's what it kind of reminds me of. It almost, and I haven't seen all of it, so I can't compare it, but I think from what I've seen, it looks like it's bigger than the Beau Rivage. So they're supposed to be the number 1 sports betting on the Gulf Coast, so we shall see. So hopefully it'll be ready in about a week. I know they got about 40 people in there working overtime. All right, next up, we have who do you like to win it all this year? Send me your comments below. Who do you like this year? I picked the last 3 winners. I picked LSU, I picked Alabama, and I picked Georgia, and all in the 3rd week of the season. So I have 3 weeks, and I'm going to give you my pick. And for the money line bets, these are the money line bets that I like for right now. I've taken Georgia, Bama, Ohio State, Clemson, LSU, Texas, USC, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, UCLA, Michigan, and Michigan State. I don't know if I can add all those teams, but I'm going to take the ones that give me a little bit of winnings and go from there. Now, I did this video last night at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I sounded like a zombie. So I'm redoing this video with a little bit more energy. So I already made my predictions, so I'm just going to go over these predictions, and we're going to knock it out really fast. And it's good that I'm doing this video again, because that other video was 30 minutes long. Nobody will sit through there. We're already 4 minutes into it, so let's go ahead and talk about Thursday, tomorrow's game. These are all according to how they were on Tuesday when I wrote all this down. So they might change a little bit because I'm going to release this video as soon as I'm done. But let's go ahead and let's look at Thursday. We got Penn State and Purdue. Penn State's minus 3.5. The total is 52.50. The money line is minus 165 plus 140 for Purdue, minus 165 for Penn State. 7 p.m. kickoff. All my times are Central Standard Time because I live in Central Time. So adjust up or adjust down for you. I like Penn State in this, so I'm going to take minus 3. Penn State always comes in play. Purdue was the dark horse last year. They would come and be the giant slayer. So are they going to be the giant slayer again? Who knows? Penn State's got a lot to prove this year with their coach and everything. So I imagine that this is going to be a really close game. I'm going to buy down that half a point. I'm going to take Penn State minus 3, 7 o'clock Thursday. I'm going to watch it on the big screen, and we're going to go from there. Hold on one second. Alrighty, guys. So yeah, I'm going to watch it on the 85-inch TV that my buddy has, and I'm going to watch it on his TV. So as you can see, it's fairly big size. So this is how to watch college football. So as long as he doesn't watch this video, I'm going to come over to his place and crash and watch his games while he's not in town. So that'll be pretty cool. All right, getting back to the sports betting. Okay, so next up is the Saturday games. These are all Saturday until we get to LSU and Florida State and Clemson and Georgia Tech. So next up, we're gonna look at the Oregon versus Georgia game. This is going to be a really good game. Georgia is the reigning national champion after a great game against Alabama last year. The total is 53 over under. Georgia is minus 17.5 as of Tuesday. Money line is plus 640 for Oregon, minus 900 for Georgia. And the time is 2:30 p.m. And Georgia still lost a lot of players, so this is going to be a really interesting game. Last night in the video, I took Georgia minus 17.5. I wasn't sure about it, and I'm still not sure about it now. But I kind of like Georgia. If Georgia drops down to minus 14, I really am a Georgia fan at that price. This can go either way. A lot of kinks to work out, a lot of things to see on both teams. Oregon has a new head coach. Cristobal went down to Miami. And so it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. I'm really looking forward to seeing this game. But I'm still going to follow my prediction. I'm going to take Georgia minus 17.5. All right. Next up, we have Cincinnati at Arkansas. Cincinnati was one of the top 4 teams at the end of the year last year. They're going after the SEC to have a harder schedule so that way they can prove that they belong with the big boys. Kind of, until you saw what happened to them last year, and then they got kind of just demolished. So Cincinnati's plus 6.5. Arkansas is minus 6.5. The total is 52. The money line is plus 204 for Cincinnati, minus 245 for Arkansas as of Tuesday. 2:30 p.m. Central Time is the kickoff. I like Arkansas' defense. They're supposedly going to be really good this year. Is their defense? Arkansas is a very scrappy team. Cincinnati is a very high octane. With Luke Fickell and all that, they're a high octane offense. I think it's going to be kind of a shootout. Cincinnati is going to hit the gas pedal, and Arkansas is going to have to respond. They're going to have to put up points. And what better way than have an over, and so that's what I'm going to take. I'm going to take the over, 52 points. I think we're going to get to about 55, maybe even closer to 60. And I got a funny story to tell you. I was watching, I forgot what football game it was last year, and I took the over, and I was over at God, I can't remember. I'll have to come back to that story, so I'll come back to it at the end. Okay, next up, Utah is minus 3. They're playing at the Swamp in Florida, and this is going to be a really interesting game. Utah is a very dry climate. Florida is a very wet, the swamp, humid. I live in a swamp. I live in southeast Louisiana. I know how humid it gets, especially in Florida, in Gainesville. The total is 51, the over-under, and the money line's minus 145 for Utah, plus 125 for Florida. Kickoff 6 p.m. Central Time, and I'm going to take Florida all day long. Plus 3, I'll take that all day. Give me those 3 points. I think Utah is going to walk in there. They're going to feel like they're drowning. They're going to feel like they can't even breathe because being down in that swamp, that lower climate, that lower altitude, man, it's definitely not going to be in Utah's favor. That offensive line and defensive line for Utah is going to be huffing and puffing by the third quarter, and by the fourth quarter, they're going to be cramping and they're going to be having all sorts of issues. Florida is breaking in their new head coach from the Raging Cajuns. And I'm really interested to see how he does with this program. He's had a lot of success, put the Raging Cajuns onto the national map. So I take Florida all day on this one. That is a definite bet for no sevens. All right, next up we have Utah State and we have Alabama. And if you listen to their offseason comments from Nick Saban, he said, oh, yeah, last year it was just kind of a rebuilding season to us. We were never really supposed to go anywhere. He always plays the humble card and, oh, poor me card, But he says this year we're locked and loaded, and we're going to take down Texas A&M, and we're going to be the SEC West champions again, and we're going to make a run for that national championship like he does every year. So Alabama's minus 41.5, total is 62.5 points. Utah State's plus 5,000, Alabama minus 10,000. Kickoff is at 6:30 p.m. And so Alabama did not really cover that much last year, and that's what really kind of hurt me. I'm going to go out, though. I think this is going to be like the LSU-Utah State game in 2019. And you're probably thinking, no sevens, nobody watched that game except for you. Correct. So I'm going to give you the quick little cliff notes on it. Utah State scored a touchdown in garbage time. He threw a Hail Mary pass with like 2 minutes left. Jordan Love was in that game, now the second-string quarterback for the Packers. LSU ran up the score. I think it was 60-7. That's what I kind of expect on this. I expect Alabama to win at least 60 points and Utah State to get 7 or 14 points and Alabama to cover. All right, next up, we have Notre Dame at Ohio State. This is a really great game. As you know, Brian Kelly left Notre Dame in the offseason and went to LSU. Marcus Freeman, I think is his last name, was the defensive coordinator coach for Cincinnati. And he was the defensive coordinator as of last year for Notre Dame. And now he's the head coach. So this is his first big job, and I wish him lots of luck. His first opponent's not going to give him all the luck. His first opponent's going to sit there and really, show if he can really handle with the big boys and everything else, and go from there. So right now we have Notre Dame and Ohio State. Ohio State's minus 17. The total over-under is 59 points. Money line is 560 plus for Notre Dame, minus 862 for Ohio State. Kickoff is also at 6:30 p.m. So No Sevens is going to have a couple of TVs going 6 p.m., 6:30, and 6:30. So it looks like I'm going to have to set up about 4 or 5 TVs all at once to catch all these games. Who do I like in this game? I like Ohio State, winning this game outright. That's the reason why I have them over here showing on the money line bets. But as far as this goes, I think it's going to be more of a defensive game. I don't think there's going to be a lot of offense. Of course, I could be completely wrong, but I just don't think Notre Dame's going to generate that much offense. And Ohio State's offense is still a question, and their defense is a question. So I kind of like the under on this. So I'm going to take the under 59 points. All right. Next up is Florida State at LSU on Sunday, the only game on Sunday. All right. LSU is minus 3. Florida State's plus 3. The total, the over-under is 51.5. Money line is plus 133, minus 153 for LSU. And it's 6:30 p.m. Central Time, and they're playing at the Caesars Superdome in downtown New Orleans. And I tell you what, Caesars has poured a lot of money into that stadium, on the outside. And they're overhauling the whole entire stadium on the inside. It's about a $400 million project. Supposed to be ready in 2 more years. Of course, this is the first year for Brian Kelly, replacing Ed Orgeron. And, Ed Orgeron just kind of fell flat at the end. A lot of expectation riding on LSU. Reorganized the whole entire staff. It has some really good players, coaches. And if you know, Miles Brennan was the backup to Joe Burrow a few years ago. He's with LSU for 6 years. He was going to probably get the nod to this, and he just decided that he's had enough of college football and he's going to focus on the pros. He was with LSU for 6 years. Hard to believe. And he decided to hang it up. They have 2 quarterbacks. They have Garrett Nussmeier, I think is his name. And they have that quarterback from Arizona State who transferred. And I think he's probably going to end up getting it. He's a senior. He's a mobile quarterback, great stats on him. And he's got some great wide receivers. And Florida State played a game last week against Sister Mary of the Poor and just ran up the score on them. And they're now everybody's, talking about Florida State's going to win it all. They're the next best miracle team season and everything else. And let's see how they do against LSU. Now, as you know, New Orleans is the back door to Baton Rouge. So this place is going to be nothing but LSU fans. And what's going to be interesting is down in New Orleans is this Decadence Festival. So it's Gay Pride Overdrive weekend. So Florida State and LSU fans are going to be mingling with the, Decadence Fest. So really interesting crowd down there coming up this weekend. I'll take LSU minus 3 points. I'll take that all day. I'm definitely going to take the over in this game. I think it's going to be a great atmosphere. LSU always plays well in that dome. So I'm taking the over, 51.5 points. Going to take that one also. Next up is the Chick-fil-A Bowl, as I always call it, Chick-fil-A. It's Clemson minus 22 against Georgia Tech. And as you can already see, I already took the over. The over was 49 points. The money line is minus 2,500 for Clemson, plus 1065 for Georgia Tech at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm going to kind of go over the notes for you real quick with Clemson and Georgia Tech. A lot of questions coming into Clemson with the offense, and Georgia Tech will probably score some points too. Georgia Tech's probably got a pretty good team this year from what I've been reading. 49 points is way too low. I think this is going to be more of an offensive shootout, and we're probably going to see about 52, 55 points in this game. So I definitely like the over. Now, if you ever go to this game in downtown Atlanta, right next to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium is the Convention Center, the Coke World, and the aquarium is over there, and the College Football Hall of Fame. If you guys never been down there, it's a really great atmosphere. The only trouble is parking is a nightmare down there, and it's expensive. So, but everything is down there. Everything is really cool to see. I would highly recommend to go see the College Football Hall of Fame. I went down there during the off season in April this past year, and it was really amazing. They have all sorts of great history, information. The helmets are really cool. As soon as you walk in, they have a field where you can try to kick field goals if you want to. Lots of information. Lots of just special stuff. So go check that out if you're going to Atlanta. The game's already sold out. And that's pretty much it. I mean, we're wrapping it up. It's 18 minutes. It's not 30 minutes like it was last night. And so we're going to go over them real quick. Thursday, Penn State, minus 3. Georgia, minus 17.5. Cincinnati, over 52. Florida, plus 3. Utah, Alabama, minus 41.5 to cover. Notre Dame, Ohio State, taking the under, 59 points. Florida State, LSU, taking the minus 3 and taking that over, 51.5. Clemson and Georgia Tech, over at 49. And then our money line bets for us. And that's who we like. And if we can't take all of them, we'll just take some of them, right? And comment below and let me know who you like to win it all this year. And I'm hoping for a better season. Last year, like I said, it was a losing season. First losing season since 2015. And here's off to a great week. As you can see, I'm already starting out with 8 games. Normally I do 3 or 4 games a week, coming out the gate swinging. So No Sevens wishes you lots of luck. Comment below if there's anything I can do or any picks that you want to put out there to the public. I always appreciate your comments. And No Sevens, we'll catch you next week. Looking forward to it. We have week 2 and a new craps video getting ready to be released. So No Sevens, we'll catch you later.